what's up? Happy holidays. Salute everyone. Welcome here to Sports Jedi Network. We're to talk some New York Yankees. But before we get into all the good stuff, all the festivities, all the nice, we have to, unfortunately, have to bring this news. Former Yankee, 10-time All-Star, 2 times World Series champion, all-time stolen base leader, all-time run scoring leader, 1990 American League MVP, 3 Slugger Award, and a Hall of Famer, Rickey Henderson, has passed away at the age of 65. May he rest in peace to Rickey Henderson and his family. I'm a big fan of Rickey Henderson, watching him as a Yankee, being acquired there, stealing bases in that lineup. Rickey Henderson, Willie Randolph, Don Manley, Dave Winfield, Jack Clarke. I mean, those are the kids. Those are the Yankees from my childhood there that I grew up when I became a Yankee fan. And Rickey Henderson, what a fabulous, exciting player from the left side, stealing bases. I mean, the guy was a lightning rod on the base pad. Rest in peace, Rickey Henderson, and all the memories that he's given us. Whether you're an Athletic fan, whether you're a Yankee fan, a Blue Jay fan, a Met fan, so many different teams that Rickey Henderson played on. The constant professional base stealer, the left fielder. May he rest in peace for Rickey Henderson. A little sad news there. We were gonna come here in a festive mood and just broke and saw the news right before we did the stream. That I made the stream up to talk about the Yankees here, and let's get right into it. So we're talking about the New York Yankees here. Our thoughts. I want to hear the Yankee fans' thoughts, or baseball fans in general, on the Plan B pivot after Juan Soto's departure to the New York Mets. And the Yankees did not just stay there with their hands folded across like Mr. Clean. Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman went out there, and now they're pivoting, making moves, acquiring players via trade, via free agency. And, of course, breaking news that just happened, of course, Paul Goldschmidt signs with the New York Yankees, $12 million for the New York Yankee one-year deal. The 37-year-old, just 2 years removed from winning the MVP in 2022. You're getting a Gold Glove. I understand it's not the Christian Walker. Christian Walker, a little bit younger by a few years. Christian Walker went with the Astros, signed with the Houston Astros in free agency. But the Yankees pivot on the first base market. They needed a first baseman. They went on a short-term deal for the one and only Paul Goldschmidt, a former MVP. I like what he's going to bring to the Yankees. He's going to play. He's going to be able to have that one-year deal to prove it. Maybe the Yankees will sign him for another one-year deal. You could, string him along. Next year there's going to be a big-time free agents at first base, Vladimir Guerrero, and so forth. And the Yankees bring that right-handed presence at first base who could pick it. And now they still have to address some needs there. But let's go little by little. Let's talk about the offseason here for the New York Yankees. Again, once Juan Soto bailed out, it could be some folks' blessing in disguise. Some folks were upset. Plan A was Plan A. Plan B was not going to be this great Plan B. It was, you're going from the top, from Macy's to shop all the way to Dollar General. But the Yankees said nonsense. If you have a good plan, if you bring players that accommodate your ballpark, your stadium, and your team, and you build with this strength of need, position of need, then you have yourself a good ball club. As well as you see, the American League has not upgraded one bit. Baltimore probably loses Santander. They might lose Corbin Burns, so they might take a step back in the American League East. Boston, yes, they added Crochet, the left-handed pitcher, and they're going to add some pitching depth, but the Red Sox look like they have some holes or some issues of their own as well. The Tampa Bay Rays, they continue, not spending a lot of payroll, actually exiling players to keep the payroll underneath low, and they don't even know what stadium they're going to play in. They're going to play in Tampa, in the Yankee Stadium, and they don't even know if they have a stadium ballpark of their own. They have their own problems at the end of the day. Toronto, no one seems to want to go north of the border to go play for the Blue Jays, do the whole move outside the United States, all that stuff there, and where possibly Vladimir Guerrero Jr. exiting the Toronto Blue Jays at the end of the year. So their window is closing. So the Yankees should be a favorite in the American League East. And that's just losing after losing Juan Soto. And now they added some players here. They had themselves a hell of a left-handed pitcher in Max Fried. Max Fried leading the NL and of course in the ERA. World Series experience. I'm a big proponent of getting a left-handed pitching always. If you hear me do watch-alongs and talk about New York Yankees, except for the season, I didn't speak too much about it. But when I have spoken about the New York Yankees a lot in my past, I always told you they should always go after the left-handed pitcher. You get the left-handed pitcher a la Andy Pettitte. You've seen it with Guidry. You've seen, when they won Worlds, Jimmy Key. The list is long. You bring left-handed pitcher. Why? Because it neutralizes the short porch in Yankee Stadium. You want opposing teams to have heavy right-handed hitting. Why? Because left center field, Death Valley is a really long territory there where a lot of home runs are become outs in Yankee Stadium. You have the left-handed crafty Max Fried who's going to get ground balls, who's going to get the ball in play, who's, down. You have to shore up your defense. Volpe has a gold glove at short. Now, there is a little bit of a concern with third base now. With all these other moves that the Yankees are currently doing, could they be teasing another move at third base? We know the Yankees still need a third baseman. They still need a second baseman. I understand we have Chisholm. Chisholm is going to play either one of those two needs. Personally, if I'm constructing the team, if I had my wish list, I want Chisholm in his natural position at second base. I'm a big proponent of having Yankee players play their natural positions where their strength, where they're the best glove at. And I think Chisholm is a hell of a second baseman. I'd rather him play second than third. He did a good job for the Yankees in the short term of coming over and being acquired and in the postseason. But the point is, I want him to be where he's comfortable, where it's also going to help him translate with his bat on the field. Could it be that? Could they go that route? We all know that the Yankees made another move. They actually signed Paul Goldschmidt. We saw that today earlier. They also made a move for Cody Bellinger. Now, my point is with Cody, could Cody help the Yankees finish their story in 2025 and win the World Series? Could this Cody, unlike the Cody Rhodes in WWE, but could this Cody Bellinger help the Yankees finish his story? It's about finishing story. Can he put the Yankees over the top? He is a dimensional player who's going to fit the Yankees ballpark, left-handed bat, who's going to play center field where they needed a center field. You move Aaron Judge to right field, his natural position in right field. He's going to play center. He could possibly play first base when if Goldschmidt wants a blow, or if you want to give Grisham a chance at center field, keep Cody off his feet, put him at first, or even Goldschmidt that designated hitter, if Stanton is on the IL stint or he's not playing, you've got moving parts where you have a lineup that you could be creative and move things around. That's the flexibility of a Cody Bellinger gives you. Also, he has 2 years with the New York Yankees. He has an option. If he goes above and beyond, he could opt out next year, and it only benefits him to try to get a long-term contract. If he has a subpar year, the Yankees have another year at first base, especially if Goldschmidt leaves and let's say Spencer Jones or Dominguez really plays extremely well in the outfield and you're comfortable with them in center field, and you have a subpar Cody Bellinger, you can move Bellinger to first base, finish out his year with the Yankees. Goldschmidt, if he doesn't live up, he's a 1-year deal, he's gone off the team. It gives you also flexibility with the Yankees payroll. When we're speaking about the Yankee payroll, we know that the Yankees always keeps an eye and they want to be financially responsible. And of course, with that said, they made a move. They traded a guy who was in last year of his team control in Jose Trevino. They brought back a Fernando Cruz and Alex Jackson from the Cincinnati Reds. I'm not going to lie, don't know too much about the two players, Alex Jackson or Fernando Cruz. I know Fernando Cruz had a 4 ERA, above 4 ERA pitching depth. Maybe they want some arms in the bullpen that can help them. Trevino, he had a little bit of issue with the wrist injury, not be able to throw runners out, but he is going to a free agent year. Now, for Trevino, if he goes to a market like Cincinnati in that ballpark, in that bandwagon, maybe that's a good place for Trevino to go out there and recover and become an all-star catcher that he was a few years ago with the Yankees right before he hits free agency. Austin Wells' development with the New York Yankees was a really good season last year, and very surprising third in the American League Rookie of the Year category. So Austin Wells has nothing but opportunities to continue to build on for Austin, and hopefully he builds here where the Yankees felt comfortable enough to move a Trevino over. So good job there. Steven is joining us. Yeah, Ricky Henderson, 65, has passed away. Those that are joining us here earlier, yes, rest in peace to the all-time stolen base leader. We'll go back to the New York Yankees again. We've seen that they made a trade. They got themselves now a closer. Devin Williams is now the closer for the New York Yankees on a hell of a good move. Cody Petit. You traded Cody Petit, and of course, good job there for them to move him along with the young kid, the rookie, who had a couple of months that were wonderful in winter ball, and they used the hype machine of the young man and moved them. So they got themselves a closer. And I know the last master memory of Devin Williams is giving up the all-runner Pete Alonso, but he is a closer who has that right stuff, that mentality, that makeup to go out there and close. I think he's embracing being a Yankee, wants to be here, saying all the right things. So we have an airbender in the Bronx in Devin Williams. So the Yankees now filling needs, a position of needs. Now they're back into the bullpen. They re-signed Loaizica for a 1-year deal coming off the Tommy John surgery. When Loaizica is dealing and is doing well, pitches well, he is very unhittable. He is a very serviceable, high-leverage reliever for the New York Yankees. The one thing with Loaizica was his health issue. Hopefully this year after the Tommy John, he comes out stronger. He comes out ready to go. Doesn't have to worry. He could trust himself, and he could start pitching the way Loaizica could pitch. High-leverage situation, 7th inning for the Yankees and so forth there. This is what the New York Yankees do. They want to get situational. They need to get better situational hitting, power hitting. They need to shorten the game up. Pitchers, 5 innings, 5 in the third inning, 6 innings of pitching, and then right into a real high leverage bullpen. That is the formula. That is the new analytics, the new Yankee way of. It might not be the way I like it personally. I like my starters to give you some more length and giving you some more bang for your buck. But that's the way they're doing this right now. It's currently the Yankees payroll. The Yankees' current payroll is $234 million as of right now. And they saying projectively the Yankees are looking to spend anywhere from $265 to $275. Right now they say $266. I think, remember, they have to go through arbitration. Some of these players might get some raises and some increases in arbitration and so forth. And I still think the Yankees will get a couple bullpen arms here. Is there a third baseman in the future for the New York Yankees? Alex Bregman is out there. I don't know. I don't know with Paul Goldschmidt. I don't know if that where the Yankees go. I mean, talk about that's your ultra aggressive all-in move. If the New York Yankees says, I'm going all in and getting Alex Bregman. Just think about that. If you put Bregman at third, but Bregman, I think, wants a long-term contract. I think the Yankees are looking content to do the short-term contracts for the team and capitalizing on the window of a Judge and, of course, Cole, Fried, and company. Now, you got to add Fried into the mix there. Rodon. This is another move that I want to speak about bringing Max Fried for Rodon. Now, Rodon doesn't have to feel the pressure or the expectation of being a number 2 starter for the New York Yankees. Rodon can easily slip to the third slot in the rotation, or even the 4th starter. But going up against opposing teams' number 4 starters, just think about that, Yankee fans. If you want, and on a 4-game series, you're going to open up with Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, and you could go anywhere depending on matchup. You want to go back-to-back lefties with Rodon and Fried, or you could go Luis Gil and, of course, Rodon in a 4-game series. Just think about that in a short series, in a 4-game series. If everything's heavy, of course. This is now speaking it in December, where everyone's healthy. You don't know what the projected outcourse of every pitcher on the Yankees, but on paper right now, if you go in a 4-game series, that's you're mixing matching lefty and righty on your starters with guys who get stuff and pitch well. Max Fried, look at his resume, the high strikeouts on Carlos Rodon when he's healthy, when he's on, and of course Luis Gil coming off that Rookie of the Year sensation and building off of that for his career high maybe his career high in pitching. You also have some safety blankets. Clarke Schmidt, just in case Luis Gil has a fatigue or a lull. This is Clarke Schmidt. I think he's going to have a great year because there is not a lot of expectation to deliver. There is expectation, yes, to stay in the pitching rotation, to stay with the Yankee organization for Clarke Schmidt. I agree. I'm not going to say that, oh, there's no pressure. There is always pressure wearing those pinstripes. But the main extra pressure of I have to be a number 2 starter, I have to, or, Gerrit Cole is in himself, I have to now put the weight of the team. No, they could collectively spread it amongst the pitching staff. And we didn't even speak about Marcus Stroman, final year of his deal, where Marcus Stroman now becomes a jack of all trades. He slides into the Nestor Cortez role. You could put him out of the bullpen. He could be your 6th starter, spot starter, and especially in the cold weather when now here in the beginning of the year, when you skip a start here and there, you don't really use a 5th starter. You could throw a good bullpen game with him, with Stroman, and that's not even what I'm going to get to, because the Yankees had a conversation with Roki Sasaki, the Japanese amateur, the other day, and looks like the Yankees gave a pitch to him. I don't know if the Yankees get him. The Yankees could offer $6 million in amateur per year. Of course, he's an amateur contract, an international signing bonus. They're like the second tier of teams that could offer him the most money. I believe teams like Tampa, Milwaukee, and small market teams could offer him up to the maximum $8 million. Then you have the next tier, the Yankees on the next tier, along with the Dodgers, the Mets, and so forth. The Mets met with Roki Sasaki the same day as the New York Yankees, and the Yankees met after. So the Yankees and Mets again battling for this international amateur pitcher, coming over from Japan. We're going to say amateur because he's going to be offered an amateur contract. We all know he's a professional pitcher from Japan, but he has to be, due to his age and his posting date, he has to be treated as an amateur, which raises an eyebrow on why he is leaving Japan. I'm always one of those who says I'm skeptic. I'm not a big fan of the Japanese pitcher, but if the Yankees could acquire for $6 million, international signing bonus for Roki Sasaki, bring him into the Yankee organization, make him start at AAA under Mike Malarkey if he wants to come out, and he could be the first arm, barring injuries, coming out of being brought up from the minor leagues, pitching in the Yankee system to minor league hitters, getting into from familiarity of how to pitch, the gripping of the Major League Baseball, the strike zone, the parks, all that stuff, that the adjustments that these pitchers have to do coming from another league, will be benefit for him, and he doesn't have to feel the pressure. The one thing that worries me about Roki, that he did not like the Japanese media harking on him, that they say his preference will be a small market team because of the media and the pressure. Well, if he does want to try the Yankees, if he's interested in the Yankees, he doesn't have to come in here to be a savior from the Far East. He could just come in here and be a pitcher, pitch his game, learn the system, and again, no high expectation. This is where you could gather pitching in a plethora of needs, in what they call in a embarrassment of riches. The Yankees could grab an Roki Sasaki, in my opinion, if they bring him in here and they put him in with the Yankees. Even the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers got a pitching staff as well. You got Clayton Kershaw, the number 5 starter. That's another one. So Yankees, Dodgers, with some good pitching here this early season. Christmas, the Yankees continue to get more presence underneath the tree. No one in their wildest imagination, Yankee fan, expected the Yankees to be this uber aggressive in the offseason in 2024. If you told me the Yankees were going to get this aggressive, I'm going to say, I think you're lying. I hate to say it. I thought they were going to have just two names here, and make some minor trades and call it a day. I am shocked that Steinbrenner and Cashman are wheeling and dealing and making moves, and they're major players this offseason. They're very uber aggressive. They're continue to show us why they're going to be back on top of the American League, because the American League has not really upgraded. And I was going to do a video earlier of with Cody Bellinger, the American League Nightmare. So that's going to be his nickname. I come up with it here before everyone starts copying it, like 161 and others. The American League Nightmare, Cody Bellinger. So here it is, Cody Bellinger, American League Nightmare. Of course, as you saw, I put the video out there, or I put the banner or the graphic. There it is, Cody Bellinger, the American Nightmare. So hopefully he helps the Yankees finish his story for 2025. So let's go with that. That's all I got to say. Everyone is quiet. Everyone is probably holiday shopping. Usually we had a busy chat. There's a Roki Sasaki. There's all talks that the Brewers might get him. So What is your thoughts, New York Yankee fans? Are the Yankees done? I still think the way they've been acting, the way they've been moving along, I don't think they're finished. I think the Yankees are going to be very aggressive still. I won't be surprised if they make a trade for a third baseman. Um, is there any names out there? As of right now, I have no clue who could be the third baseman that could be out there. Um, I kind of want a third baseman rather than a second baseman because I know you could find a second baseman. You could even have an agreement with Gleyber Torres for a 1-year deal. I know people are like, no. Listen, never say never. I personally wouldn't want Gleyber Torres to return to the Yankees either. I'd rather have a third baseman. But remember, you also got a team where you have a DJ LeMahieu return. You have to find some at bats for DJ. I'm not saying you have to play DJ over 100 games, but you got to make your bench also stronger. There's an opportunity for Oswaldo Peraza to probably make the team. Got Oswaldo Cabrera still on this team. Oswaldo Cabrera is going to be that one player break in case of an emergency to play some outfield or some infield, multiple glove position for Oswaldo, backup shortstop, left fielder, third baseman, first baseman for Cabrera. You also got Trent Grisham who's going to play in for defense, in left field and give Bellinger time off and move him to first base or whatever the case is. Of course, you're going to have, LeMay who could play first and for Goldschmidt in case something happens, or vice versa, second base, then third. So you have some moving parts there for the New York Yankees. Ben Rice. Does Ben Rice now go back to his natural position as a backup catcher? Or is he going to, what is his role with the New York Yankees going forward now that Goldschmidt is here? Is he going to be part of this team to learn under Goldschmidt to take over the first base? Because I thought Ben Rice wasn't a bad player for the New York Yankees. He was a couple of months or a year ahead of schedule, not ready for the major leagues, and they needed the first base his glove. I thought Ben Rice was decent. I understand the Yankees have now World Series aspiration, or at least American League Champions League Series aspiration to return back there, but I'm okay with them bringing Rice. I don't know if he's going to stay on this team. They're going to move him AAA again. Don't know the options on Ben Rice. We'll find out as well. So the Yankees got some stuff here, dude. And we saw Brian Cashman in one of the Zoom press conference. They was asked about the Martian Dominguez. Is Dominguez going to have an opportunity? He wants to. Personally, if I'm the New York Yankees, I got to give Dominguez an opportunity to win left field. I know the name Santander is out there. I don't think the Yankees go Anthony Santander. I think Santander, that pipe dream is over because now with Goldschmidt at first base, you have to also have some players with some monetary value to help the team. And that's where a player like Dominguez in left field benefits the Yankees. Let him, have him play left field. I understand listen, I'm not saying he's this guy. He's not Verdugo. He's not Soto. Hitting wise, but defensively, you have an upgrade in Dominguez if he's healthy. I think Dominguez is one of those. I know he had a little bit of an issue when 2 years ago when he came up with a little bit of misplaying some balls, but I think Dominguez, if he has that in the back of his mind, he's here. It's his job to lose. I think he'll calm down. I think he'll play well. I think he'll live up to expectation. And would he be an all-star? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't want to put limits on the kid, but he's going to play well. I think, he's going to have an opportunity to surprise the Yankees. You just got to let him have trust and him to breathe and let the game slow down, which we know he can hit. We saw what he did 2 years ago when he came up. He had that electric bat. I think now him worrying or looking over shoulders is, am I going to be moved? Am I going to be traded? Am I going to be demoted? I don't want to be in the minor leagues. All those different stuff for Dominguez coming into the season. If he knows that he has an opportunity to win the left field job and have the left field job, I think he'll provide a nice season for the New York Yankees if he's left alone. Always have that backup guy just in case if you want to bring in another outfielder who could play some center and left. We have Grisham on there, so we'll find out what the Yankees do. At the end of the day, this team is much improved. Granted that you're losing a bona fide Hall of Fame or projected Hall of Famer young talent in a Juan Soto, but you upgraded in every other position. It's just an upgrade. You upgraded in right fielder, you're upgraded. Defensively, I know Soto's, but because you moved now, you've got yourself a center fielder in Bellinger. Now Judge doesn't get worn down in right field. He's going to play more. Maybe his postseason becomes a little more sharp. And of course, he's biting on the chops to get back to the World Series, get back to the postseason. So maybe Judge, that's a motivating fuel for Judge. And maybe you have a better right fielder. You have a better defensive right fielder. You have a good center fielder in Bellinger. And let's see what Dominguez gives you in left field defensively. Yeah, again. And what he's hitting, you have yourself a nice outfielder for the New York Yankees. And you, of course, the one position that I want them to upgrade, and I don't know if this year, or at least to start of the regular season, is third base. I kind of want to see Chisholm in second. And I don't know who's going to be your Yankee third baseman. That's the one thing. I won't be too opposed if you have a third baseman rotation there between LeMahieu and Peraza. I don't know if that's going to be anything to write home about or get you excited. And Chisholm at second, or LeMahieu at second, Chisholm at third. I mean, again, I don't know if that's something Peraza or Cabrera. I know Cabrera started the year hot last year, and then he cooled down. And it's not Cabrera. I don't think it's an everyday player. I think Cabrera is that type of guy that gives you that spark, that will give you when he comes in for a couple games. He'll go on a tear for 5 to 10 games. Then he cools down, and then you have to get him on, put someone in there, and then he'll come off the bench. Serviceable, really good MLB player for Oswaldo Cabrera, but not an everyday player. He's a major leaguer, but not your everyday player. So I kind of want to see that, man. There you go. I like the signing for Schmidt. He's a good glove, a veteran. Plus, he's left-handed. I used to want him for the Yankees in his prime. Absolutely. Of course, another hitter that fits the lineup, the ballpark for the New York Yankees. It's a Paul Goldschmidt. And phenomenal work. If you're the Yankees, I cannot argue with anything they're doing this offseason. They're increasing and putting it on paper, getting the right ball players for their part, getting the right players that are available. Best available players to fit the need without breaking the bank either. 12.5 million is not a lot of money for a Goldschmidt for a year rental there, a year stopgap, whatever you want to call it. That's a great job. Great job. And especially with the free agent market that's coming up next year. Looks like what the Yankees are telling me here, that they're looking for Tucker in 2025. I don't know if, again, he's with the Cubs. If he hits the free agent market, the Yankees look like they're going to be in play for Kyle Tucker, a ball player that fits the Yankee ballpark. The young 27-year-old will be 27 or 28 next year. Left-handed hitter who could steal bases defensively, a stud. And it looks like the Yankees are looking to pivot there. That's why I don't think they'll go after Bregman for third base unless the money or the money is down, or the amount of years for a Bregman. I don't know, because it looks like the Astros are not bringing Bregman, although the Naranola trade got nicked. The Yankees re-engaged the Cardinals for Nolan Naranola. I don't know if they get that done. I'm a little worried on that one. Unless you want to put the two cornermen of, Alanola and Goldschmidt in the corners for the New York Yankees. I don't know if that's going to happen, guys. Would it surprise me? Anything could surprise me. Just think, let's have that hypothetical, guys. Let's go. Nolan Alanola at third. You got Peraza at short, Chisholm at second, and Goldschmidt at first, with Wells behind your plate. That could be the Yankees. That could be possibly the opening day 2025 Yankee infield, with Dominguez, Bellinger, and Judge, and Stanton your designated hitter. Just think of that. I'm gonna ask you guys, Yankee fans, are you guys comfortable with that? If the Yankees tell you that's the lineup you're going to, this is the team you're going to war with, your starting nine, with the pitching, is that the team that you guys are comfortable going at it? You got a couple aging guys in the corner. Of course, you got Chisholm, Dominguez, who are young. Up the middle, you're young. Bellinger, and again, remember how the St. Louis Cardinals Waddy Wars used to say, you got to be strong up the middle. Championship teams are built strong up the middle strength. You got young Wells, you got Volpe, Chisholm, Bellinger. That's up your middle. That's strong. That's a very strong team there. Then you got your power hitters in the corners, although aging veterans, but they're power. Your right fielder is a power hitter. Your left fielder is known to be a dynamic player when healthy. And just think of that, Yankee fans. Is that enough to possibly win the World Series? I don't know. Things have to be played out. Injuries, season, chemistry. strategy from the manager, and also the manager, the bullpen, the arms. They're gonna have a hell of a bullpen. They got 6 deep as of right now, starting pitching wise. Could be 7 if they add a Roki Sasaki. That's another arm there. 7 starting pitchers. You can never have enough starting pitching. You could be a long reliever, so forth, with cold weather in New York in the Northeast for the first few months. You got a hell of a bullpen. That back end of the bullpen, that with Weaver, Williams, Loizica, Canely, so forth, so on. They have some arms. Yankees are going to put themselves in a good season for 2025. We will find out what's next on the horizon for the New York Yankees. With that said, I'm going to say good evening here to everyone that's joining us, or good afternoon to everyone that's joining us. We thank you for listening, watching along, tuning in. Again, rest in peace to the one and only Rickey Henderson, 65 years old. Let me give him his accolades as I put his picture before we get out of here and say good night. We'll one more time for Rickey Henderson, a 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ, all-time stolen base leader, all-time run scoring leader, 1990 MVP, 3-time Silver Slugger Award, and of course a Hall of Famer, first ballot for the one and only Rickey Henderson, one of the greats. May he rest in peace. And thank you for the memories, Rickey Henderson. And you gave me as a Yankee fan in 1985, all the way to your time. That I remember 85, 88, especially 1988. He was a hell of a demon on the base pads for Rickey Henderson, and the way he played. I was a fan of him, Rickey Henderson, as a New York Yankee. So rest in peace. So you guys, man, thank you for joining us. We appreciate everyone. Have a happy holidays, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.